It's hard to believe that we've done the 7th day. Today is day 7 of our 7-day Kickstart to Spring, 7-day health challenge, 7-day super health challenge. We went over many interesting topics. It's so great to have you on board. If anybody would like to say a bit about what their favorite part of these 7 days was, or what they've learned, or anything that you could say that would be helpful to know for other people who might be watching this, or something that's just personal to you. Okay, go ahead, Elizabeth.
For me, well, finding out more about supplements, I mean, a myriad of things, things that we should be doing, that we should avoid. But the biggest thing was finally starting to use the Keto Mojo, which is dead simple, much easier than I thought, and has been incredibly instructive. So thank you for getting me started on that, Sarah.
Oh, that's great. You're welcome. Now I want to ask you, what were your measurements today?
97 after breakfast, which is
okay, wonderful.
But I'm going to work on it. It was a bit of some of the measurements over the last few days were a bit of a shock and a wake-up call. But now I'll be more mindful.
Okay. Denise is sending a message. She will come in if she's trying to get in. And so I'm going to add her to our list via email. So thank you for that. Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I just getting some consciousness, I'm not really, I feel a little bit like I can't take the actions that I'd like at this time, but
yeah, me too.
I just have to do what I can and be okay with that and not be in a kind of perfectionist mode, because I've been on health cycles before where but I have to realize I have to create something that's sustainable and not in obsessive perfectionist mode, because it doesn't work. I get into it and then it's like, finally I just let go. So I have to just, lay it in slowly. So, yeah.
I can totally relate to that, Andrew. I wonder, Sarah, if that isn't human nature to have cycles, cycles of being good and cycles of being bad with your health, and being able to, forgive yourself and just sort of do the best you can all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
One of my friends has taught me, you don't have to be perfect. It's good enough the way it is. Yeah. So I've been using that. It's good enough. It's good enough. I'm good enough.
I think there's a saying, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. I'll find it and let you all know.
Say that again. Say that again.
There's a saying. It goes something like, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. In other words, don't, throw away the good things you're doing, because you're striving to be perfect. I'm going to find the quote and share it with you all.
Yeah, that would be great to send it to everybody. Okay. Anybody else want to say anything?
I just want to say I really appreciate hearing about your personal journey and experience, and I really admire that you keep looking for new avenues and that you try different things and that you share that with us. I'm with all the other things I'm working with, I'm kind of, I've saved everything. I'm kind of overwhelmed by so much information.
Yes.
And I really appreciate, and I will go back on some of those. I really appreciate how hard you put this all together. And one of the highlights was having Dr. Dentist on. He was great.
He was wonderful.
He was. So thank you. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, I felt like he was very down to earth and very, I felt like he was really down to earth, and again, not in a perfectionist mode. I didn't feel like he was in that kind of a mode. He was just relating information. So that
Yeah,
was
he's very
very,
approachable. Yeah,
very approachable.
Very approachable is a good, yeah, he
yeah,
was,
yeah.
yeah.
And you don't hear a lot of dentists talking about new technologies and lights,
No.
light
No. No,
and mewing, that idea that John Mew and his son, I can't remember the first name of his son, but they talk about the bones allowing the teeth to come into place the way they need
Right.
to, that the focus should
Yeah.
be on, what are they calling, orthotropics instead of orthodontics.
right.
Not
Yeah.
just changing the teeth, but changing the cranium, changing the
Right.
bones. Yeah.
Well,
I love
having
that idea.
experienced, braces as a child, it was excruciating. So anything that would not
Oh.
be that, I mean, I feel like I have a nice smile now, but it was horrifying. I remember them doing the tightening and just like,
Oh.
just cry afterwards, right? Like, cause it was just
Mhm.
like,
Oh.
it was horrible because my teeth were going out like this, right? Like my teeth were going out. So, yeah.
And when you say this, do you mean your molars are going sideways or do you mean they were going frontwards?
They were going to the side, they were separated and they were going to,
Oh,
they were going out this way. And they said to my mom, if you don't do anything, he will wear away his teeth the way they are forming. And I had impacted wisdom
Wisdom
teeth that
teeth.
did come in, like he was describing, they came in this way.
perpendicular, parallel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
Right.
I had them removed when I was in my mid-50s, which was terrible too.
Oh, wow.
That
Oh,
was not a smart choice. I should have done that when I was
Yes.
a child, but I waited. And then my dentist was like, get those wisdom teeth out. He was like, I thought I told you, get those out. So I did it.
Yeah.
I agree with what everybody has said. And Andrew, I also had braces and I had the headgear. Do you have to wear headgear?
I did not have, thank goodness, I did not have to wear headgear.
Yeah, that was humiliating and painful. But yeah, I liked hearing from the dentist. Sarah, I appreciate your organization. I liked hearing everybody read, not just, that you mixed it up that way, and that you had things printed out ahead of time. It's what we were going to cover, but yet you were flexible as to what the group was struggling with.
Yeah.
And again, I'm so thankful that Carol and Elizabeth and Andrew and I could be here together for such a time as this.
it was great to meet you this way and hope we'll meet again and have happy
Yes.
trips together.
Yes.
Yes.
I wanted to
Um,
add, Sarah, it was sort of enormously helpful for you to talk about things you tried and failed with, because I tend to have this
Yeah.
idea that you never put a foot wrong with your healthcare.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, all I can do is share my experience. So, and as we all know, we're not perfect. So we try to learn from each other. So I'm glad that you feel that way. And I'm excited to share what I know. And that's been fun for me. So
And also
thank
what
you.
Andrew was saying, that is my mantra. I had a friend whose dad would say, good enough. And that I hear that in my head all the time. And that does help me
I
to
just texted everyone that quote.
whatever and move
Voltaire.
on.
I see that. I see that. Thank you, Elizabeth. Instead of
Thank
pushing
you.
yourself to an impossible perfect and therefore getting nowhere, except being good enough, except being good. So that's a
And
good
that we
theme.
Like Andrew, I'm a perfectionist. I think we all
Well,
are a bit.
and if I can just hold on to like the next moment, I can shift.
Yeah.
I don't have to, I don't have to go, like if I fall down, I don't have to go like my life catastrophized because I,
Yes.
had a piece of cake or, I didn't exercise or whatever
So
it is.
true.
I can just go, okay, that was then, but right now you
Exactly.
could do 50 jumping jacks. How about it?
Or how about even, I really enjoyed that piece of cake. That was wonderful. Now
Yes,
let's move on.
yes,
And
yes.
speaking of moving, I would like to do a little movement in yoga, some sun salutations with you guys now. So
Okay.
we're not just stationary, but we actually incorporate movement, and through the movement patterns that we discussed and the ideas of body mind centering, I want to make sure that you understand what visualization is and what somatization is and what embodiment is. And those are three separate things that are part of the background that I come from. So we know that visualization, we have that in our minds, something that we're visualizing. And somatization is moving through an exercise, giving certain parts of our body, like we did the pancreas. I did a whole lecture on the pancreas, and then we felt our pancreas. So we were doing somatization here of our pancreas. We were sitting there and we were rotating around the pancreas. And you could do a triangle pose and rotate in yoga. That was a somatization. So you can do that with any part of your body. You can do it with your brain. You can go into your brain. There are different structures in your brain, and you can go into that and somatize. So you can use that in your imagination as a focus. Like if you know a part of your brain has had a certain trauma to it, you can find that through anatomy books or ask me, because I've been studying the brain for the last couple of years. And we can do it together. We can do a somatization together to heal that part of your brain or any part of your body that is bothering you. We can work together, and we don't have to be touching necessarily. So, and then the embodiment is just being there. So somatization is being aware of something in that part that you're moving, but the embodiment, which is the ultimate, is to be that part of your body. To be so at one with yourself that you're in it rather than observing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So one experience comes to mind is if you're lucky enough to have an orgasm and you have that orgasm, you are the orgasm. If you're having a real full orgasm, you're not watching yourself have that, you know, in the best sense of the word. You're in the experience of it. So when you're embodying something, it doesn't have to be that, but it can be anything. You're in the experience, you're not observing yourself doing it. And it's important to feel that you're embodied in certain things. So I think back about my experience in the hospital and the ER with my kidneys, and the doctor saying they're checking me for heart attacks, and I'm just moaning and groaning. I can't even stand up. I'm in so much pain. I said, I think it's a kidney stone. And because I could feel that in my body, and I was definitely in my kidney at that point, that was complete, total embodiment of that place. So it's possible to go there and work with your healing with that embodiment process. So that's why it's important to know it, and that's why I brought it up. And that's been my training for 50 years now, how to embody things that are in our bodies, the anatomy, the physiology, to make it real and make it come alive, that we can access ourselves that way. So I'm wondering, and if we can do a standing exercise, the sun salutation. So everybody gets to move, and if you're in a car, you'll just follow along as best you can. I'm in a hotel room, so it's a little bit different for me. I'm going to move things as best I can, and I'm going to put myself as center so you can see me better. I think that's the best way to do it.
I had to move to another room because I don't want to be down on the floor where the dog is with all her dog hairs.
Oh, because you look so nice. You look so
That's- well,
dressed
that's why
up
I'm
and
not
so
busy.
pretty.
Okay.
Good for you. That's wonderful. And let me just see if I can spotlight the speaker view. And I assume that you're familiar with the sun salutation. So we're going to start with our feet together. Let's see if I can get the angle here that works. I'm back here. Can you see my feet? Whew. Just barely see my feet. That's good, that's good. Give yourself some room. Feet are together here. And you're gonna lift the arms up, breathing in. And exhale, you're gonna bend over and let your body hang. Let your knees relax and let your head down. And don't force anything. It's gonna hang over. You're gonna feel the blood rushing into your head. You can do that. And now I want you to take a moment to shift your weight a little to the side, to one side, shift it back to the other side. Breathing in. And now grab your elbows and just rock side to side with your elbows. Your head hang. Feel the lengthening and the tightness of your hamstrings. See if you can soften it at all. And then open the arms, rolling back up. This is the first preliminary exercise. Hands together in 11 o'clock position. And bring your hands to your heart. So we'll repeat that. Bring the arms open. Reach up to 11 o'clock position. Breathe in. And bring your arms down. Exhale, bend over. Exhale. And now put your fingertips on the floor by the sides of your feet. Drop your head. Take a moment to lift your back into a flat back. Your fingers will lift off the floor and your back kind of flattens. And then you lower your head down. And from this position, you're going to bring your right leg behind you in a lunge. This is a very interesting space I'm in. Then you're going to put your hands flat, bring your left foot back, and hold your weight. Then bend the elbows slowly, align your stomach, and lift your hands to the sides. You're going to do what they call a baby cobra. Baby cobra. I don't know if you can see me anymore, but I'm on my stomach and my feet are pointing and they're touching the floor, but my upper body is off the floor and my hands are by my side off the floor. It's called the baby cobra. Now I put my hands back down. I'm going to push up into upward dog, and then into downward dog. So my hands and my toes are touching. And take a moment to stretch my calves. See if you can see this. I don't know what you can see. Here, stretching my calves. And holding there. Taking this off. You're in your downward dog. And you're going to swoop up. You're going to lower your knees, your chest, your chin, and you're going to push up into a full upward dog. And then you go into your downward dog and bring your right foot forward. Straighten your right leg, straighten both legs. You're still bending over, but now you've got another stretch here in the back of your right leg. And then step your left foot forward, reach up into your original position. Okay, was everybody able to do that? Thumbs up?
Yes.
Thumbs up? Carol, were you able to do that?
Some of it.
Yeah. Okay, good. Let's do it again. Let's do it with thank you, thank you. Let's do it again. I love those sparkles.
I know.
Okay, so you're standing arms at 11 o'clock. And bring the arms down, bending over. Put your hands on the floor or some close to your sides of your feet. Lift your back up, flat back. Lift the fingers off the floor. Try to make your back flat. And bend back down. This time you're going to lunge forward, lunge backwards with your left foot. Left foot is back. Now you're going to, where am I in this? Stretch the right leg. Bend forward a little bit out of sequence. Bring your right leg back. The downward dog. And then lean over your hands and plank. And lower your knees, your chest, your chin, and push up into upward dog. Tuck your toes under and do downward dog. And bring your left foot forward into the lunge. Keep your left foot forward and straighten the left leg. That's a great stretch there. The hamstring on the left. Then bring your right foot to your left foot and straighten back up. Bring your hands together. Beautiful. How'd everybody do with that?
Great.
Yay. Isn't that refreshing?
Yes.
Yay, fireworks.
Very refreshing. Oh, we could go on and do we could do a whole hour of that, but I have other things I want us to cover.
Oh,
So
I wish
So
we
go on.
could. I
would
wish
you like
we
to
could.
go on?
I wish we could alternate yoga with exercise class every day.
Ah, that's an idea. We could do
Ah.
3 days a week, exercise, and twice a week we could do the yoga.
Mm.
That's an idea. So I want to know if you have your measuring tapes, if you can measure your waist or your chest
Ah.
and see if there's a difference between what you did when we first started last Sunday and today. Ooh, that made me feel so much better. Whew.
Yes, I feel much better for that too. It's amazing, isn't it? Just, even
Yes.
5 to 10 minutes of movement.
Yeah. So do you have your numbers from when you first started it last Sunday?
I didn't actually measure myself, but if
I-
anything, I've put on weight this week, so I don't want to know.
Carol says the same thing.
Yeah, I don't have them here. I wasn't sure. It's been a while, I guess, where to measure on the chest. Is it above the boobs, below the
Oh,
boobs?
it's around the nipples.
Okay.
If you have, unless you're post breastfeeding,
No,
our
well,
breast might be a
I'm
little bit lower,
not.
but around what would be.
okay. I thought it was maybe underneath. Anyway, I didn't ask that last week, so I kind of didn't do it. No.
Okay.
But
okay.
I think I told you I did lose 7 pounds as of my doctor's last week. So
Wonderful. Wonderful. So what are we saying? Cheers, Elizabeth?
Yes. I
So
have my
did you
glass of
measure yourself?
champagne here. Haha.
Okay.
No,
Did
it's
anybody
water.
take measurements? And Andrew, you were measuring yourself just now? No, okay. Elizabeth, Amy, no. Okay.
Oh, nobody wants to do it.
Well,
What
Andrew's
about you,
measuring his
Sarah?
own. I did not measure myself this time. I think it was like, well,
Oh
I
my
did
goodness,
have
we've
my
all
measurement. I
struck
did
out
measure
on
then,
that.
but I've done it many times for my classes, for my program. So I'm a little exempt since I've already done this, but I appreciate it. And what about our numbers? What were your high numbers and what were your low numbers in the blood sugar?
Well, for me, I think my lowest number so far has been after breakfast this morning, 97. But I'm definitely going to work on keeping it down. What would be a good level, sort of 70, 80, 90 level? Or is that unrealistic?
No, and your fasting blood sugar would be, if you could get it to set in the 70s, that would be fabulous.
Wow. Okay.
I got one to 80, which was terrific. And that was when using the berberine. So berberine is very helpful for me. Berberine twice a day, in the morning and at night. Berberine is similar to metformin, but it's not a drug. It's the pure plant, so you don't have any of the side effects. Yeah, that you do with metformin. So
Ah,
you
yeah.
can
but
substitute. Yeah,
how do you spell that, Sarah?
berberine.
Yeah.
It's B-E-R.
Yes.
B-E-R again. I-N-E.
Oh, yes.
Berberine.
Oh,
Berberine, and you
Right.
can get that anywhere. I use different products. I have one by Thorne.
Wow.
And you can find it, look around for a good one, or ask me. If you're at a store and you think, oh, I see this berberine, I wonder what Sarah would say,
right.
just call me up and I'll talk to you and I'll ask you
I
to
see,
read me
it's a
or send me a
spice.
picture.
Seasoning.
Yeah.
And how do you
Okay.
use that again, Sarah? Sorry to ask.
And Denise is asking me to send this to everybody and I can send that to you. Can I send it to you as a chat? Yeah, send it to your chat. Berberine.
Oh, it's a spice mixture whose constituent elements usually include chili peppers, coriander, garlic, ginger, Ethiopian holy basil seeds, and fenugreek. It's a key
And
ingredient
fenugreek.
in cuisines of Ethiopia and Eritrea. Berberine also refers to chili pepper itself.
Oh, that's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the health benefits. See if I
We're
can find it.
reading there.
Do you want to continue your reading?
Well, no, that's all I've found so far. But I'm just interested to know what the health benefits are.
Well, lowering your blood sugar is one of them. And Amy, you might just triple your berberine.
Right.
Maybe
wow.
take morning, afternoon, and night and see if that does something. And if that doesn't do it, add 4 times a day and see if that does it.
How would you take it, Sarah? Obviously, you've got to mix it with something because that the red
No,
chili.
it comes in a capsule form and I swallow it.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's a great one. Cinnamon is also helpful. There are other herbs that are helpful. I find that the berberine is the top of my list. Garlic is helpful. Onions are helpful.
Well, it says
But-
here each of these flavorful spices offers some dietary advantages when added to meals, which makes them a great addition to any diet. Berberine provides essential vitamins and minerals like vitamin C and potassium.
Indeed. Indeed. Okay, so we have a quiz that I talked to you about.
Here's one more. Berberine is a compound found naturally in many plants. Some research suggests that it may help promote weight loss, enhance blood sugar regulation, and protect against several chronic conditions. Berberine is a supplement that has been associated with several potential health benefits.
Okay,
A
thank
little
you.
general, but
Okay, let's move on.
yes, sorry.
I want you to
Spirit matter.
have a piece of paper and a pen so you can write down, yes, thank you. I'm going to ask you to define certain words. Tell me about insulin.
Oh, this is the test.
This is the test. This is the quiz.
Thank you.
And then you'll have a couple of minutes for that. And then I'm going to ask you to define, are you done with the insulin?
Almost.
Let me know when you're done with that. Everybody done with that? Let's go on. What is cortisol? Everybody done with cortisol?
No, it takes just a second. It takes me a little longer to
Okay.
write.
Okay. Can you define ghrelin? Grelin. Ghrelin. Are you ready to move on? Okay, let's move on to the leptin. Can you define leptin? What are alpha cells? And you can make up funny things too. And of course, I'm going to ask, what are beta cells? Carol, did you say something? Because you were on. I don't hear you. And the last question, tell me about the islets of Langerhans. Islets, here, I'll write it down. I'll write down these words for you. Okay, so the words are insulin, cortisol, ghrelin, leptin, alpha, and alpha and beta cells. And the islets of Langerhans. I just love to say it. Okay, let's go over the definitions. I don't hear anybody speaking. I see that somebody was moving their lips. Say something, Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you. I'm going to turn this off. Hang on. Turn this off. Hang on. There we go. Testing.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
But I can't hear, you can't hear me, obviously.
No, I can now hear you.
Oh, good. Sarah, where did you list down these words?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to press chat. It's in the chat.
Okay, but I'm looking in
Oh,
chat.
I'm
not-
sorry. It went to Denise, but let me take that and send it to everyone. Thank you.
I noticed, Sally, I don't know if you did it, but that like Amy and Andrew are muted and Denise.
Yeah, Denise is in the car, so she's muted
Oh.
herself. Denise, you can come in anytime that we can hear your voice.
But Amy's muted, Andrew's muted.
You guys want to join in, Andrew and Amy?
Yeah, I just purposely mute so it helps the speaker to be able to be heard a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just noticed that because I seemed to be muted too. I don't know.
Come on board, everybody. It's just nice to have you speaking. So what is insulin?
What is it?
A hormone released by the pancreas to regulate sugar levels in the body.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
But which way does it regulate the sugar in the body?
It helps to decrease blood sugar levels.
Yes, it helps to it's a signaling.
Or increase, right? When the blood sugar's low.
Well, no, it's not insulin that does that. Cortisol does that. Cortisol causes blood sugar to increase. So insulin and cortisol are kind of opposites of each other. But
Oh, right.
and glucagon, which I forgot to put in there, glucagon helps the liver to initiate that's what is it called? It's a production of glucose that the liver is able to do when it receives glucagon. And then gluconeogenesis is the production of glucose.
Jeez.
So insulin and glucagon are sort of the opposite. Insulin is taking sugar and trying to jump into the receptors on the membrane of the cell, open those receptors so that glucose can slide in. And cortisol is demanding sugar, so it will raise the sugar to come out of the cells. So those two are opposites. When the sugar is down, glucagon goes to the liver and says, hey, we need more sugar. So if there's sugar inside the cells, it'll open the cells to bring it out, which is probably happening at the same time that the cortisol is elevated. But just think of it in terms of if you're in stress, you need to have sugar immediately to fight what the stress is. You're going to fight the tiger with extra cortisol and sugar. What about ghrelin? What is ghrelin?
The
It's a
hunger
hormone.
hormone, increasing the desire to eat. So
Yes.
highest before meals, lower after meals.
Yes, it goes to the hypothalamus from the stomach. saying that we need to eat. And what about leptin?
What that is.
And the reason I can remember the ghrelin because it has a G, and growth starts with G. So ghrelin has to do with growing, getting more food. So you can remember it that way. What about leptin?
Proteins that bind to carbohydrates.
Leptin is a hormone.
Oh.
Okay, leptin is a hormone that suppresses your desire to eat.
Oh,
Yeah. If you've, it helps to stimulate the metabolism in your cells, and it helps with long-term energy. Some people who are obese have resistance to
lectin.
leptin, and it can also be affected if you have a lack of sleep. And it can become resistant if you're not sleeping well. So that's why often they say, if you're not sleeping well, you're going to gain weight.
Mm.
Now I find that with myself, if I had a bad night of sleep, I'll crave
Yeah.
some carbohydrates and stress. I mean, I have to admit, I have to confess that I had something that I haven't had in a many times, many times, many months, I said, which was last night, because I'm stressed being in a new environment and not having my apartment here and teaching a lot. I had some of my husband's chocolate souffle at this point.
Well,
Yay!
if you're going to cheat, you might as well cheat with some of the best, right?
Yes.
It was
Oh my
delicious.
God, she's human.
It was delicious. And I came home, I measured my blood sugar before I went to bed. It was 110.
Oh, well, that's not so
Well,
bad.
that's not too
No,
bad.
that was fine.
So maybe you needed it.
No, maybe because I've been doing yeah, Denise is saying I'm so funny. That's great. Yeah. So maybe that's a sign that because I've been training my system to handle metabolically, to handle myself metabolically better, that I could tolerate this bit of sugar.
Yeah.
Denise is saying maybe we need the recipe.
Yeah.
Yes, did you save some for us?
It was a little souffle like this, and it had some kind of a peanut butter
Oh, yeah.
side concoction that you dip your chocolate souffle into this little peanut. My husband said it's like a Reese's.
I mean, there's also nutrition in it, I'm sure. You know, eggs,
Yes.
cocoa, egg.
Right.
Please don't tell anybody.
Oh, for goodness
no.
sakes.
You're so funny.
Okay,
I
so
won't
what are
even get started on the sugary things I had yesterday.
oh goodness. What about alpha and beta cells?
Well, those are hormones.
They're cells, actually, they're not hormones.
Oh,
And they're cells in the what?
Pancreas.
In the pancreas.
Oh,
And remember when we did the pancreas lecture, I pointed out the alpha and beta cells.
Yes.
right.
I said
Okay.
you got to know what these cells
Now-
do.
Yeah, I thought they were part. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So which ones produce insulin?
I think it was the alpha, right?
No, it's the beta cells. The beta cells
Okay.
produce insulin.
50-50 chance.
Yes.
yes.
So between those two things, I want you to know the beta cells produce insulin, and
Mm.
they're the ones that get affected if you have so much sugar. The
Mm.
beta cells get tired, and pancreas gets tired, the beta cells wear down, apparently. So just remember the beta cells. And for the sake of knowledge, what do the alpha cells do?
Well, I'm reading online. Releases glucagon, which elevates blood glucose.
Yeah, so that's the other hormone. Glucagon is a hormone that helps to trigger the release of insulin. So insulin is a storage hormone and glucagon is a release hormone. So you have both controls in the pancreas. You have these incredible cells. When you need to have, when you eat a lot of sugar, the pancreas is stimulated to produce this through the beta cells, insulin. So the insulin can go around and take that sugar, have a piggyback ride, and put it to the receptors in the cell. With the membrane opens, and the sugar can slide in. But if you have too much sugar, then the glucagon from the alpha cells is going to be secreted, and it's going to go around and try to get the. I'm sorry, if your blood sugar is low, the glucagon is secreted by the alpha cells to bring out the sugar, to release glucose from the stores in the liver. So the major function of glucagon is to release glucose from the glycogen stores in the liver. Glycogen is stored glucose. So that's a tongue twister. The major function of glucagon is to release glucose from the glycogen stores in the liver. And here's an article in PubMed that calls the pancreatic alpha cells the unsung heroes in islet function. So the pancreatic islets of Langerhans consist of several hormone-secreting cell types important for blood glucose control. So this is where the cells that we're just talking about, the alpha cells, the beta cells, and there's two more cells types that were there. But this is the insulin-secreting beta cells are the best studies of these cell types, but less known is the glucagon-secreting alpha cells. So I said the alpha cells secrete glucagon as a response to low blood glucose. The major function of glucagon is to release glucose from the glycogen stores in the liver. In both type 1 and type 2 diabetes, glucagon secretion is dysregulated, further exaggerating the hyperglycemia. And in type 1 diabetes, alpha cells fail to counter-regulate hypoglycemia. So you have to have, when your blood sugar is low, the glucagon is going to cause the liver to release the glucose. When you're too high, the insulin, that's when, when your insulin is putting it into storage. Unfortunately, it stores it as fat. So that's why people have that mid-gut belly coming out. So it says alpha cell research has taken off lately, which is promising for future knowledge. And this article is to highlight the alpha cell regulation and glucagon secretion with a special focus on recent discoveries from human islets, which are the islets of Langerhans. So it's interesting to know these things. That is the islets of Langerhans. So bravo, you made it through.
With not, I have to admit, with not a little bit of cheating and looking up.
That's okay. We all learn together.
But my God, isn't the body an amazing thing?
It is such
It is.
And the takeaway is just not to abuse your body with sugar.
That's right. That's right. Or
Right.
starches or too many
Bottom.
starches.
I did better on the Alzheimer's test I took. For driving. I did better on that. I aced that.
Oh, that's good. Okay, that's good. So now we're coming to the close of our 7 days, and I do want to go to our fun part, which is our spinning wheel.
Oh,
So let me change the view, and let's go to our spinning wheel. Need to find that. And here we are. I have to share our screen. Share the screen. Go to advanced portion of the screen.
Man.
And here we are.
Oh,
All right. So I'm gonna,
I can't hear you.
Oh, you just muted yourself, Sarah.
yes.
That's so funny. You're muted.
Yeah.
Check your mute.
unmute.
There
Okay,
you are.
Yes.
all
Yeah,
right.
that means you're muted.
Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, when I press the spin, you may not be able to hear me because the sound, I don't know if you'll hear the sound. It's fun to hear the sound. I'm gonna take this off for a second. Now, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna take a spin.
Whee!
Woo!
Making me dizzy.
Elizabeth. Yay.
Oh,
Winner.
I never win anything.
Yay!
Yay.
Elizabeth,
Winner,
you
winner,
you receive a session from me.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
All right, I'm gonna take
Wonderful.
your name out.
winner, chicken dinner.
You're so funny. Winner, chicken dinner.
Katerina is not with us, so I have to remove her.
oh.
She had a sick dog that she had to take care of at the last minute.
Hmm.
Oh, this is like musical chairs.
Yes.
Ooh.
Woo!
And this is Denise, yay!
Denise, yay!
So Denise, you also win a session from me, which will involve,
Whoa.
if you're
Oh,
interested in things that are
Okay,
not, we'll talk about what works for you.
yes.
Okay.
Wonderful.
You two get a
Congratulations.
dinner. You two get a chicken dinner. Not fried.
Andrew, yay!
Oh, at last.
Oh, yay!
I would like to
Winner,
give
winner, chicken dinner for you.
I would like to give you a copy of my book that I sent.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Did you order it yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Oh, good.
No.
I was going to tell you not to order it, but I thought, oh, I'll just wait and see.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
You need to send me your address. I'm not sure I have it. You want to tell me what it is right now?
Yeah, it's a 4002 and it's East Brook Road. And then it's Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And then it's 17109.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yes.
May I also store that for my Christmas cards? Is that okay?
She's asking you, Andrew. She wants to take your address so she can send you a Christmas card.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. Oh, where's it going?
I think that's Carol.
Yes.
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 Carol.
Good.
Carol,
chicken
I'm going to give you
dinner.
another session. Okay.
Thank you.
Andrew loves the spinning wheel.
I love it. I love
And
the
a
spinning wheel.
chicken dinner.
Chicken dinner.
Oh, last but not least.
Oh, but let's see. coming in for the landing.
So,
It's Amy.
Amy!
Wow.
Hey,
yes. Amy, you have a choice.
Oh, dear.
Either I can give you a session and spend more time with you privately online, or I can send you a recipe book.
I'd love a recipe book. That would be wonderful.
All
I'm
right.
all about the
Does she
food.
have both?
And I want to thank you, Sarah, and the group again. My prayer session started, they called and I said I needed to finish this Zoom session. So thank you so much again. I'm sorry to be abrupt, but I've got to join this other call.
All right. Well, it's been great to have you.
yes,
It was wonderful.
Lovely
Appreciate
to see
all of
you,
you.
Amy.
we'll
Thank
see
you.
you on Monday.
Looking forward to
yeah.
that. Appreciate your community. I'll be praying for your
Please
floor,
do.
Sarah,
Thank
for your
you.
place in the flooding. Good to be with you, Carol and Denise, Elizabeth and Andrew and Sarah. Thank you all,
Thank
Good
you.
Thank
with
you.
you too.
friends. I can't
Bye.
wait for the recipes,
Happy
Sarah. Thank you.
You. I hope we meet again.
I'll look forward to that, Carol. Farewell, friends.
Farewell, guys.
Bye. Farewell.
So wonderful to have you. Denise said she has my book, and good for you. I have followers live everywhere. Enjoy the day. Yes, so we'll all enjoy the day. I send a big hug to you and squeeze you and say it's been wonderful to be together.
Yes,
So supportive. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And I'll be in touch. Okay. So,
yes.
Bye.
bye.
We'll
Oh, it
see
was
Bye.
you, Elizabeth,
Thank
on
you,
Monday.
Sarah.
And Denise says thank you to everyone. Thank you to me.
I've got so much to follow up on here. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that's wonderful. You can send that out, Elizabeth, to everybody in the group. That you
Well-
wrote down the notes if you wanted to.
Well, sometimes I spelt things phonetically because I've never actually heard of the word.
Oh, that's fine. You can always ask me.
Really? All right.
I
Well, yes, it's very rough notes, but
It's just fine.
Sarah, do you
Yes?
have a recording of the Thursday session?
I have a recording of every session.
Yeah, could I get that?
Yeah, I'll
That'd be-
send everything out. It's just that I've had such a crazy
I
time.
know. That's why. That's
I
why
have
wasn't
it. I'll
gonna
send
ask,
it all
but-
to you. All right.
Brilliant.
And
Thank
Sally,
you.
a big
Have a great day.
good luck to you next week with everything
Yes.
going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
oh, yes.
I'll make it
Gosh.
through.
I'll be
You're gonna
thinking
make it.
about you.
It's
Well,
only-
it's wonderful that you're having the operation. Think
Oh,
positive.
we're talking about the
Yeah.
operation too. Well, that's a little bit different. I thought you were talking
Oh,
my
oh,
property, the
what are
part.
we talking about? The cleanup.
Yeah, we're talking about, no.
I was thinking about the operation, but the cleanup
Good,
too.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking of the
All right.
operation. You
All
know, your floorboards might sort of straighten themselves out again. Our floorboards do that when they get down.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
All
fingers
right.
crossed.
All
I
right.
love you. Talk
you
to you
too.
later.
Thank
Love
you.
you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.